प्रथितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम्। यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदम्। श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि। स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्थस्य केशव। स्थितधीः किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किम्। प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते। So in the verse number 51, in all these verses, there is something, Bhagavan is highlighting a reality. We have to receive that reality, whether we follow it or not, what is the right thing to do in life. Once I am clear that this is the right thing, and this is right, what is right for one person, it is a universal right. It's not that, subjective right. There are no subjective rights, there are subjective likes, not subjective rights. Like, honesty is right for everybody, it is not a subjective right. It's not, you can't say honesty is good for some, bad for somebody else. You can't, this is a subjective thing. That think like that is subjective. Honesty is a universal, right for everybody. What is right for one person is right for everybody. Right means I am talking in terms of values. I am not talking about what is right food, wrong food. They are not. I am not talking about that. Values. You see? Right. Like honesty is right for everybody, truthfulness is right for everybody, non-violence is right for everybody, responsibility is right for everybody. Not to be lazy is right for everybody. What about the unemployed, Swamiji, Kavi? Everybody is right. Laziness is bad for everybody. It doesn't allow you to go ahead. Laziness pulls you back. In this manner, similarly here, Bhagavan Krishna is talking about something right, a right attitude. Because what we think matters a lot in life. It's not merely what we do, but what we think seriously. What we think and mean what we think. Thinking and meaning what we think is very important in life, because the major part of our happiness is governed by our thinking. I don't want, in fact, the entire thing. Our happiness is, our happiness lies in the way we think. It doesn't convince us. We always think, how can you say, Swamiji, our happiness lies in our thinking? Is it not true our happiness lies in the amount of money we have, in the kind of house we have, in the kind of comforts we have, in the kind of property we have? We feel so convinced, really. Conventionally, I mean what we are traditionally, and for many centuries, we have been convinced, as though we have been hoodwinked to believing. We are hoodwinked to believing that our happiness lies in the world. Therefore, when Krishna or any scripture comes and says, your happiness lies in what you think, it doesn't immediately convince. Man is not ready to feel convinced. He says, ऐसे तो कहेंगे, साधु लोग तो ऐसे तो कहेंगे, हम थोड़ी मानना है, हम तो सुनते हैं, हम तो सबको सुनते हैं, लेकिन करते हैं अपने तरीका से. It's a peculiar thinking. People don't, they hear, but they don't feel. They don't feel convinced. But really, the life changes the moment you see the truth in this statement, that your happiness lies in the way you think, not in how much you have. This is 100% right. As you are sitting, you change your thinking, he says, you become happy. You are you are fuming against somebody, supposing, sitting in the class. You remember somebody at home, whom you left at home and came back, and here you are fuming with the person. Supposing you handle that thought, it doesn't matter, apna. Each one has got his own mind. Koi baat nahi. The moment you start, you entertain a kind of a forgiveness, let us say, doesn't matter. You become peaceful, happy. Therefore, right thinking gives you instant peace. Change of thinking gives you instant peace. There is no gap between correction of thinking and peace. There is no time gap. But when it comes to actions, you perform an action and wait for the result. And even when the result comes, even when you enjoy it, it may not give you happiness. Is there a guarantee that if you have the best meal, you will become happy? You have a worry and you want to talk about your worries to one of your friends, and both of you go to Oberoi as if there is no other place to talk about worries. People go, it's a bahana, I tell you, to is giving vent to one's restlessness. There is a worry, and you talk to somebody. So let us go and discuss this problem. Let us book Oberoi, some place, and you go there. And that bill becomes another worry. I am telling you, we are avataras. Human beings are avatara, means funniest creatures. We are funny creatures. Why can't you sit under a tree? At least that fresh breeze may change your thinking. Why don't you sit under a tree? No, we book and there. Now you are having the best lunch in Oberoi. You are having the best lunch. You are having the best lunch. Are you enjoying it? You are having lunch and talking your worries to another person. Are you enjoying it? I say the best joys need not give you the amount of happiness. Forget expecting the best happiness from the physical pleasures. You change your thinking, you get instant Shanti. Shanti. You have enmity for your brother, resolve that enmity, you are happy. koi baat nahi, if he takes little more, it doesn't matter. The moment you say to yourself, koi baat nahi, okay. Anyway, we are all born empty-handed. We have made so much of money. Everybody is born with empty hands, with empty-handed we are all born, and you have made so much of money, you should be happy, even if somebody takes a little more money. Koi baat nahi. I mean, this is the right thinking. Friend is your brother, koi baat nahi. No, my brother is all right, Swamiji. You don't know my bhabi, my God. Hey, what is all this thinking? What is this bhabi? Your bhabi is also a part of your brother. When you have respect for your brother, you better respect your bhabi also. Respect your brother. Respect. That is the sign of, may I not be disrespectful to my bhabi because I have respect for my brother. If whatever she thinks, it is her right. But in my mind, let there be no wrong thinking. Supposing I liberate my mind from wrong thinking, this funny thinking about my brother has been really denying me a lot of peace, tension. Suppose the moment I just free my mind from all that, it's all right. Then, does it not give instant happiness, instant peace? This is what Krishna is teaching. Hey, change your attitude, change your thinking, correct your thinking, and instantly you will find happiness. As a happy person, you can enjoy living and also thinking to know the truth. As a happy person, you become qualified for knowing the truth. As a happy person, you are qualified for knowing the truth. If somebody is being wrong, don't really crib about his wrong. You don't do wrong, because how you can only monitor your thinking. You can't monitor others' thinking. A principle life. This is an important principle to imbibe and seriously imbibe and look at it. I can't monitor others' thinking. I can't control somebody else's mind. If I am not able to control my own mind properly, how can I control others' mind? I can't monitor. This must be the principle. This must be the principle in life. The principle is this, that I can't control others' mind. If somebody is wrong, I can give a word of advice and leave it at that. Let him handle. I have to control my mind. I have to take care of my mind. And the moment you relax, then you are peaceful. Otherwise, I am worried about, that person is thinking like this. I am worried, Swamiji, that person is thinking like this. That person has got another girl. Let him hang himself. Apna karma hai. A little distance even from the intimate people, a little distance even from the children, husband, wife, parents, everything is required, because fundamentally we are neither the parents nor the children. We are just a seer of the universe. I am telling you. It is better to understand that reality also. It is better to understand. When a person falls asleep, when he transcends the mind, what is he? Neither father, nor mother, nor son, nor daughter. It is only serenity. These are all roles, temporary roles that we are following in the perception. We should respect the relationships, but don't look upon them as absolutes. Your relation is not absolute. It is relative. It is relative. It goes. When I transcend the form, I transcend all relationships. When we transcend the body, we transcend all relationships, and every day it is being proved that we transcend our body. When we fall asleep, we leave the form, we transcend the body, and when we transcend the body, we transcend all relationships, and therefore our relationships are not absolute. They are all relative. Therefore, if the other person is being wrong, well, let him, he has to answer for his actions. He has to answer, and then really he has to rough it out in time. He has to face the consequences. You give him a word of advice, show him the right way, and leave it at that, and then relax. No, day and night you worry about. And what is the use of it? Therefore, we should be intimate and also keep a healthy distance. We should be attached and also detached. We should be attached. From one point of view, we should enjoy attachments, and we should also have the wisdom by which we have detachment. Attachment is pragmatism, detachment is wisdom. Attachment is life, detachment is spirituality. Yes, why not? Attachment is a need, detachment also is a spiritual need. For survival, attachment is the need. For happiness, detachment is the need. For survival, attachment is the need. Emotional attachment is also our need, but we should also have detachment because we are all different. Each one is different. When you are fast asleep, do you miss your children? This is a very serious question I am asking. I keep asking this question. Whenever you are fast asleep, do you miss the children? Do you miss the children? Like, till 10 o'clock you kept awake, till 10 o'clock you waited for your children to come back home. Children didn't come back. They were still, they were still observing Valentine's Day. And then you waited for them to come back till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You were missing them. Then after 10 o'clock you fall asleep. Do you miss them? Understand, there is a state where you miss nothing. That is the truth of you. Where you miss nothing, that is the truth about you. And it is everybody's experience. And therefore, this is the truth. What is the truth about us in sleep? The same is the truth even when we are awake. Like the truth of the wave, whatever is the truth of the wave before it rises, the same is the truth of the wave even after it rises. Whatever is our truth before we wake up, the same is the truth even after we wake up. Whatever is the truth of an ornament before it is made, same is the truth even when it is made. Before you melt the ornament, it is gold. After you melt the ornament, it is gold. It is not that we have a different truth in the waking, one truth in the waking, different truth in the dream, and another truth in deep sleep, different truth before we are born, and yet a different truth after we are born. Our truth is the same before we are born, after we are born, before we die, before we leave the form, and after we leave the form. Our identity of being the conscious being, a non-form, the form-free conscious identity, it doesn't change. Therefore, having understood this, understanding this is called a healthy distance. Healthy distance is not an effort. Healthy distance is not an effort. Discovering the distance. Discovering the distance. Because each one lives his life, each one really, I am living, and then even before, and when I am still alive, let us say my friend goes, he leaves the body and dies. He takes another form somewhere, and I take another form somewhere, and we just fall apart. We come together like the logs of wood in the sea. How with one wave they come together, with another wave they just fall apart. Therefore, enjoy attachments. Attachment is not absolute. Attachments should not be made absolutes. We should have attachment to the people. We should also have detachment. Detachment is wisdom. What is detachment? My son has got his own prarabdham. Let him live his life. Let me not unnecessarily try to write destiny on his forehead. Unnecessary. Let him work out his prarabdham. Let my daughter work out her prarabdham. Let my children work out their prarabdham. Let my wife also work out her. Supposing one's wife goes all the time to the club, the husband gets worried. You give a word of advice and afterwards just leave her, all right, hang yourself. Apna kaam karo. Just try to live your life purposefully. Apna, you keep your sanity. You don't have to lose. You don't have to lose your sanity, after somebody else's insanity. They say, don't invest good money on bad money. Don't lose good money after bad money. Therefore, it's a kind of, why should you lose your sanity? Therefore, everybody is born, see, you can't say we are a family. It's a family of, say, 4 members, 5 members, 6 members. Now, it's not the family has its destiny, but every given member has his own destiny. In Rama's family, Rama had one destiny, Sita had another destiny, Lakshmana had another destiny, Bharata had another destiny, Shatrughna had another destiny, Dasharatha had another destiny. My goodness, is it really? Even royal families don't have a common destiny. Families don't have destiny. Jivas have. Each individual has a destiny. And sometimes the members of the same family, if they have a similar destiny, we think it is the destiny of the family, but it is actually the destiny of 4 or 5 members. It happens to be similar. It's called collective destiny. Like a plane crashes and 100 people die. This is called collective destiny. Because sometimes we do actions collectively. When we can do actions collectively, we can also get destiny collectively. Therefore, every jiva has his own destiny to work out. Try to guide, and if you can't guide, leave it. You do your duty, and that's undetachment. This is what Bhagavan is teaching. But it doesn't amount to indifference. Don't try to read indifference. It doesn't mean indifference, it is wisdom. It's like, you see, you advise somebody and then leave it. Is it indifference or what is it? It is wisdom. Otherwise, it will affect you. Okay. This is the topic. Now we'll go into the verse. Thus, coming back to that original point that we began the class with, that our happiness is governed by the way we think. Our happiness is not governed by how much money we have. Even when you are enjoying, supposing you go to a hill station and you want to enjoy your holiday, supposing your mind is in turmoil, can you enjoy your chutti? You can't enjoy your chutti. But one thing, now listen. Even if you go to a hill station, if your mind is in turmoil, you can't enjoy your stay there. But if your mind is not in turmoil, if your mind is in good condition, even at home you can enjoy. You don't have to go to a hill station. Did you follow? Even staying at home, in the same drawing room, sitting in the same house, even though the whole town has gone to hill stations, but you can stay at home and enjoy your day if your mind is not in turmoil. And mind doesn't get into turmoil apne aap. We cause turmoil to ourselves. We go out of our way to disturb ourselves. We go out of our way. We go out of our way to disturb ourselves. And the more we are educated, the more we become inventive and the more we become capable of disturbing ourselves. Because an illiterate man is less informed about the ways by which one can disturb oneself. I am telling you the truth. An illiterate man is less informed of the ways by which one can disturb oneself. But an educated man is sophisticated enough and he knows all the sophisticated ways by which he can disturb himself. He disturb himself. You don't know how these very, very educated people disturb themselves. Absolutely. It's incomprehensible. You have everything, and why you are all the time crying? You have everything. That's why it is better to listen to Gita. Better listen to Krishna. Krishna has something to convey. Karmajam. Look at the verse. I'll try to complete it, this verse quickly. Karmajam phalam. The fruit of action. A fruit of action is always material. Fruit of action is always material. And it is called phalam because in time it gets exhausted. Phal gutaya liyate iti phalam. That's the definition of phal. Phal. Phal means what? I get some money and when I use it, it gets exhausted. I get some food, I use it and it gets exhausted. That means every material result gets exhausted. Every material result gets exhausted. Are you able to follow? Every material result gets exhausted. As something exhaustible, it is called phalam. Krishna says, don't do your duties for the exhaustible. Do your duties to discover the inexhaustible. Did you hear that? Do your duties not merely for the material results which will ultimately be exhaustible, which will ultimately be exhausted. But do your duties to prepare yourself to recognize the truth that is inexhaustible. The truth. Why? Because there is a contrast between what Krishna thinks about human solution, what Krishna thinks is man's solution, and what man thinks is solution. Man thinks his solution lies outside himself. Man thinks his solution lies in the world. Krishna thinks, your solution doesn't lie in the world, your solution lies in yourself. This is something uncommon. Throughout the literature, if there are Vedas, there are Vedanta, there is Bhagavad Puranam, there are Puranas, Shrutis and Smritis, you don't know the amount of literature in the name of Vedic literature. You don't know only Bhagavad Gita. You don't know the amount of literature we have got. My God. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? But the entire literature only keeps talking about one thing. Seek not what you want, seek not the fullness. Outside yourself, you better look at yourself. In this manner, Puranas talk the same thing. Vedanta talks the same thing. And our literature is not talking merely about do's and don'ts, there's just a few values, Just tell the truth, again. These values are on the margins, they're all right. Like when a child, you have to hear. When your son goes to school, now he is getting ready and is dressing up. Is that schooling? He is dressing up to go to school, forms the central part of schooling. Dressing up to go to school, does it form the central part of schooling? Central part of schooling is what you learn in school. That is called schooling. Education inside school is the central part of school. That is the main part. Similarly, these values, do's and don'ts form the central part of spirituality. They are only preparatory. They are preparatory steps. But what is the central part? Looking at oneself is the central part. And your life, your values and your honesty, your accommodation, your non-violence, these are all called values. These values form preparatory steps. They create an atmosphere in life. They give us mental peace, they give us good health, they create harmony in the society. They create a conducive atmosphere. An atmosphere is very important in life. Minus the atmosphere, really, even the best human being amid noise can't think. Even a scientist would go mad amid noise. Even he wants. Even a very deep thinking person requires shanti, tranquility. Therefore, tranquility doesn't amount to thinking, but tranquility amounts to the atmosphere. Atmosphere is very important. Therefore, these values take care of the atmosphere, whereas looking at oneself seriously, the seer, looking at the seer of the universe, you see, that subject forms the central part. Therefore, the whole literature is only drawing man's attention to himself. There is no second topic. There is no second topic. That is what here it says, karmajam phalam. Hey, when you do your duties, you don't have to do them merely for the exhaustible material results, but do it buddhi yukta. Be endowed with an attitude. The attitude is what? Doing the duties for knowing yourself. For knowing yourself. As preparatory steps for knowing yourself. As a prayer to God. Tyaktva means having renounced the material result, then doing it only for mental peace. Manishinaha, the wise man. Now this is the wise man renounce the desire for the material results and do the duties for mental purification. I am using a term, mental purification. I am using a word, mental purification. And mental purification, please don't take it for granted, because we are all familiar. We think, is it going to deliver? Is it going to deliver goods? Is it going to deliver happiness? All the time talking about mental purification, is it going to deliver happiness? I say nothing else is going to deliver happiness except your own mental purification. Mental purification is an achievement, please. Mental purification is an achievement. Not to hate is purification. Not to be jealous of others is purification. Understand? Not to be uncomfortable with others' comforts is purification. I mean, when you are mentally pure, aren't you peaceful? When you are not jealous, you are peaceful. When you don't hate others, you are peaceful. You don't have rancor inside, you are peaceful. When you don't have unnecessary ambitions, you are peaceful. Therefore, when the mind is pure, mind is peaceful. When the mind is peaceful, you are peaceful. As a peaceful person, you are enjoying your existence, and you can enjoy even looking at your truth becomes easier to grasp. That much I can say. When you are peaceful, it becomes easier for you to grasp the eternity of your being. I am not promising a smaller goal for mental peace. The goal for mental peace, what one can achieve through mental peace, is nothing short of registering the eternal. It's like when the pool of water is still, what you can see is the floor of the water. There are diamonds in it. Supposing you have lost a diamond in the pool of water and it is lying there on the floor, when can you see it? When the water is still. When the water is still. In fact, that very stillness of water makes your perception of the diamond easier. Did you hear that? The stillness of water makes the perception of the diamond on the floor easier. And what is stillness? Peacefulness. Similarly, when your mind, when you are peaceful, you are still. Stillness is not just, just to still. Stillness is not what we call a kind of stiffness. Stillness is not stiffness. Stillness is what? You don't disturb yourself. That's called peacefulness. In order to create silence, what do we do? Like in the hall, in order to be silent, what do? Avoid making noise. Therefore, avoid disturbing yourself. If you don't disturb yourself, you are peaceful. Therefore, you don't have to become peaceful. Just avoid disturbing yourself. So when you are peaceful, then the comprehension, recognizing your eternity, recognizing your being Brahman becomes easier. The message of Vedanta becomes easier to comprehend. Therefore, why should we do our duties? For the exhaustible material results or mental purification? Mental purification has got something huge to offer us, whereas a little money has money. What the money gives us is nothing beyond survival. What money gives us is nothing beyond survival. But a good relation with your brother has a lot of harmony to give you, a lot of peace. If there are two brothers, and if they are a threat to each other, supposing, then both are unhappy. Supposing they are a comfort to each other and a security to each other. Oh my God, you can have such a peaceful sleep. Is it not? Where lies the wisdom? To be a security to each other or to be a threat? Why should parents have two boys? So that they can be a threat to each other? So that they can be a security to each other. Why do you want to have a boy and the girl? So that they can be a security. In fact, parents in history, throughout history, people went for more children so that they can be a security to one another. But the moment they become a threat to one another, they lose the mental peace. Therefore, which is better? To be a threat or to be a security? Supposing, having understood this, and then just overcome the differences, koi baat nahi, a little extra. He has taken one roti extra, koi baat nahi. Koi baat nahi. And then have good relation with the brother. Tell me, are you not peaceful? Are you not peaceful? What does it cost? Money or attitude? Attitudes bring about Shanti. Not money brings out Shanti. It's not that if I give more money to my brother, then afterwards the relationship will be very good. Aisa kabhi nahi sochna. You can never rectify relationships by giving and taking money. Relationships are rectified by rectifying one's thinking. You have to rectify your thinking to rectify relationships, not by just giving. Supposing two brothers are fighting and one brother says, all right, you take little more money. Afterwards, do you think it's all going to be milk and honey? Oh no. Indraprastha, and then half of the kingdom was given to Duryodhana. Was he happy? Was he happy? And Krishna said, all right, you take the whole kingdom, give us 5 villages. Was he happy? Isn't Mahabharata enough to give us enough wisdom that this material stuff is not going to really go a long way in making us happy? That is not the best solution. Therefore, let us do our duties, let us be material, let us be prosperous also, let us make money. That is all okay for survival, but ultimately what matters is how you think and not disturbing us. We should not doing our duties and without disturbing ourselves with an attitude that neutralizes all mental disturbances. An attitude that puts an end to all mental disturbances. And that attitude that puts an end to all the mental disturbances is indeed, I have no hesitation in saying, is prayer. Swamiji, we have been hearing this for a long time. You better hear again. Prayer, prayer, prayer. Don't look for a modern solution. Don't tell me you know how to pray. Please, I know very well you don't know. The one who prays me, prayer means devotion. Prayer is not a ritual. Prayer is not a ritual. The one who offers a prayer to God, the one who tells God, God, give me strength to have my mind in my control. Help me overcome my greed, my jealousy, my hatred, my vices, my restlessness. God, help me overcome my restlessness. Sit down and focus. You give your attention only thinking, talking to Bhagavan. That's prayer. That prayer, I tell you, solves the whole problem. Prayer is mighty enough to finish off these things are nothing. Like for Bhima, to kill a rabbit, does it take time? A squirrel. Are you able to hear? Is it difficult for Bhima, for Hanumanji? Is it difficult for Hanumanji to smash a squirrel? No. Or a mosquito? Similarly, prayer is mighty. These impulses are nothing in front of the prayer. Like the darkness simply disappears the moment the sun rises. As the prayer rises in the mind, all the impurities go away. Therefore, all those people who are shouting prayers are not praying. They are only shouting and they are only observing some rituals. Really, where there is prayer, there is no hatred for anybody. Where there is prayer, there is, you wish well for everybody. God, everybody wants to be happy. Let Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha is a prayer. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha is the result of prayer. Are you hearing? We say, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya. You say it and mean it, and then make a complaint in life. You can't complain. God, let all be happy. God, let there be no sickness. Let everybody live in peace. Then when you look at people, you don't have problems in the mind. You are not silently cursing people when you are seeing people. When you come across your sister-in-law, you silently cursing in the mind. You are there, Gana ga raha hai. You understand? Wahan par Gana chal raha hai. It is going on. That is going on. Sahasranamarchana is going on. You know Sahasranamarchana? Taking 1,000 names of God. Hey, if you are not really, when you are saying something, you are really, there is impurity silently going on in your heart. That makes you unhappy. You can't enjoy. Even when you say hello, vagera, you don't mean anything. Hey, that person wants to be happy, I want to be happy. Let us sit together and try to help one another. That's a much better attitude. There is much better attitude and you enjoy much more happiness. Thus, prayer neutralizes mental impurities. Prayer neutralizes mental impurities. You don't have to neutralize. You undertake a simple prayer and that neutralizes. You apply the soap to the cloth. You don't have to remove the impurity. The soap removes the impurity. You apply the soap to the cloth. The soap will remove the whatever that washing soap, you apply it and then it removes the impurity. Now, what did you do? I only applied the washing soap. Similarly, I only pray, and the prayer itself will take care of all the impurities. Become peaceful. Thus, prayer, we are very familiar to prayer, that is our problem. Because of our long familiarity with the prayer, we take it for granted and ultimately conclude prayer also has not worked in life. How many people conclude that prayer has not helped me? How many people have concluded in this city that Hindu prayers have not helped me, therefore let me go for Buddhistic prayers? Is it not true? What is Buddhist? There are no Buddhist. Prayer can't be qualified. Prayer is prayer to God. And how many gods do you have? What is this conclusion? Therefore, they also go and say something Buddhistic prayers, they think something happens. And then coincidentally something happens. As a matter of coincidence, something good happens. On that very day, you went for Buddhistic meditation, Buddhistic prayer, on that very day your guest left. You thought, my God, it's working. Your guest left. And then you start thinking, my God, Buddhistic prayer is working. How many people have really, they are neither here nor there. The beauty is, the beautiful literature that you have, the culture that you have, you don't want to benefit from it. And you become really restless. And then there also, how long you get familiar with that Buddhistic prayer and afterwards you lose faith in that. And you have already lost faith in this, then you look for some tantra mantra. This is what is called going on a trip. Each superstition is a trip. And not to fall for superstitions is what is called thinking. If you fall for superstitions, that means, and superstitions have no end. Are you able to follow? Therefore, prayer, whether it is, there is no such a thing called, please, don't qualify prayer as a Hindu prayer or a Christian prayer. Prayer is a prayer. Languages are different. God help me. Say it in English or say it in Sanskrit or say it in any language. Is it not the same? God help me. Is it not the same? Therefore, please don't qualify prayer. Prayer is the same. Prayer is the same. It's like, can you qualify a mother's love for children? Can you qualify love? Care for the children, care. Care, whether it is a Hindu mother cares for her children, or a Christian mother cares for her children, or a bird cares for its own young ones, or an animal cares for its own young ones. Is there a difference? Prayer is not qualifiable. Prayer means, God, I am helpless, I need your help to help me out of my mental impurities. In this manner, when you seek Bhagavan's grace, that prayer, that's called doing duties with a prayerful mind, is what is called Buddhi Yukta. Next slide, please see. Those who do their duties endowed with a genuine prayer, Janma Bandha Vinirmuktaha. What happens? They become liberated from the cycle of births and deaths. One becomes liberated from the cycle of births and deaths. Padam Gachanti. And when they are liberated from the cycle of births and death, Padam, the goal, the abode of peace, Gachanti, reach. Anamayam, meaning that which never gets exhausted. Nirupadravam iti. Anamaya means Nirupadravam. The musibat free state of peace. Upadrava means, you know Upadrava? Free from Upadrava. Upadrava means some kind of, you're always nagged. You're always nagged. Either somebody nags you or your own desires. You're all the time, less than happy. You're all the time less than happy. Oh, I have to go there, I have to go here, I have to meet this person, I have to meet that person. of children, there is always some anxiety. That anxiety is called upadrava. Freedom from all anxieties is called padam, an abode of peace. Like when you fall asleep, you are free from all upadravas. Thus, when we do our duties with a genuine prayer, that builds within us certain purity, certain peace, certain stamina to discover our own truth, by which we become liberated from the struggle. And when we are not doing our duties, then we will be doing something else which will be a kind of a distraction. Are you able to follow? Therefore, what is the central part of life? Doing duties, prayer, duty, prayer, duty, prayer and reflection. Duty, prayer and reflection. And caring, etc. all comes under duty. Duty is a very comprehensive term. It is not just, you go to office and come back, your duty is over. Duty is a very comprehensive. Duty is something, every minute you have some duty. Every minute you have some duty. When you go to office, you have a duty. When you come back home, you have a duty. When you meet your wife, you have a duty. Children, you have a duty. Parents, you have a duty. And for your own health, you have a duty. In fact, the whole life is nothing but series of duties. And therefore, the one who is sluggish, he will not be able to do his duties. I am telling you something important. Laziness comes in the way of doing our duties. Therefore, one has to overcome one's laziness and do one's duties. And when you do your duties, then do it prayerfully. That itself will quietly prepare you, quietly build inner purity and peace. It builds inner purity and peace, which can help you understand the truth. Okay, we'll continue it later on. We'll go to the next verse. Next verse is, let us read once. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. There is a word called moha kalilam. Look at the first line. Somewhere in the middle of the line, look at the word. What is that word? Moha kalilam. Moha kalilam means impurity of false expectations. Any impractical desires, impractical expectations, impractical ambitions, impractical views, anything that is not true, all thinking that cannot be, that is not true, untrue thoughts, untrue feelings, untrue imaginations, all untrue is called moha kalilam. Untrue, it doesn't really. And these untrue thinking can't sustain us. And moha also can't sustain us. Like even attachments, if they are much more than simple looking after just the care, responsibility, then it becomes a problem. Even attachments beyond a point becomes moha. Like, taking alcohol, up to a point you take alcohol, beyond that point you become alcoholic. Is it not? If you take alcohol beyond a point, you become a alcoholic. My God, that's dangerous. Similarly, here also, as long as you are with the people, you have a sense of responsibility, you love them, you care them, help them live their life. Just helping them live their life, not just helping them to control them. You don't have to help the children just to control them. Help them help them live their life. But Help them live. It's like, you give a helping hand to the children and afterwards leave it. You don't really give your helping hand so that your child can always be dependent on your hand. Is it like that? You give a helping hand to the children. When they are small infants, you just give your helping hand so that they can just get up and walk. And once they start walking, you leave it. But don't have, no, they must always hold my hand so that, I can feel that I am in control of things. What is this? People always help others to control them. Why? I tell you, it is better that really let them live their life. Help them to live their life is what India needs. India has a problem of helping children to control them for life. Then you get attached to the grandchildren so that you can control. Because you failed to control the children. Then you want to control the grandchildren. I say, giving care to the children, love for the children, love for the grandchildren, I am all for it. I really appreciate that beautiful tradition of being in touch with the children. But help them live their life. Bas. Let them live their life. Let them live their life. Help them live their life. And if that is not true, supposing you get so attached, you don't really allow them to live their life. You're all the time, they get suffocated by your presence. Sometimes children get suffocated by the parents' presence. Some of the parents, all the time, they want their children to think through the parents' minds. Parents always think children should not have their own minds. That is why they make a comment. Acha, you have started having your own mind. Since when are you having your own mind? That means what? All the time the parents have been expecting the children not to have their own minds, because we have two minds good enough for the entire family. Because you better think through our minds. Better think through our minds. That is called attachment, which is moha. Helping to control is moha. Helping to leave them alone is responsibility, duty. Helping children to let them live their life. Helping them to let them live their life is responsibility, duty. Helping them to control them is so that you control your son, and through the son, through the proper channel, you control the bahu. What is all this? In every house, this is a ghar ghar ki kahani ho gayi. I am telling you, this is a really, this is an Indian, typical Indian story. Here Krishna says, this is all moha. We should live with our parents. Parents should love the children's happiness. Parents should love. Let the children be happy. Whatever the way. Give them advices. That's it. But let them live their life. Yadate moha kalilam, when this impurity of your mind means what? Your impractical desires, impractical greed, impractical attachments, impractical jealousies and impractical hatred. All these impractical stuff that has been brewing up in your mind for the whole life. Bhagavan says, Yadate moha kalilam buddhihi, when your intelligence vyatita rishyati. Just this line we will see. Vyatita rishyati means crosses over. Vyatita rishyati means crosses. When you overcome all your illusions in your mind. Vyatita rishyati means go past. Go past. When you go past your illusions in your mind, when you rise above your illusions, when you rise above your, you understand, impractical thinking, means what? When you rise above wrong thinking, when you rise above necessary attachment, Then says, Bhagavan says, just another couple of minutes. Tada, then, Gantasi. Now I shifted the classes from Tuesdays and Thursdays to Mondays and Wednesdays for the simple reason that you need not run away from, when the class is yet to be over, because there is no queue there. There is space for everybody. Aram se ja sakte. So everybody can go after the class. Everybody, you don't have to go in a hurry. Arams. Because this is the only place where you can get some aram. I know it. Once you leave this place, there is no aram. Then you are all the time running. Straight to Khan Market to Connaught Place Market, vagaira. And therefore, please just relax just a couple of minutes. When you go past your own illusions, tada gantasi, then you have already gone past and you have already reached nirvedam vairagyam. What a beautiful definition. Vairagyam is nothing but overcoming your own mental illusions, overcoming one's own impractical illusions, impractical desires, impractical, thinking, all impractical thinking, unreasonable thinking. Overcoming your own unreasonable thinking is called Vairagyam. Vairagyam is not for a thing. Renouncing things is not Vairagyam. Renouncing wrong thinking is Vairagyam. Renouncing a few things is not. Swamiji, मैं तो आजकल भिंडी बैंगन छोड़ दिया. Not a big achievement. Renouncing a few things is nothing. Really, we always renounce, we pick it back again anyway. We always, so many things we take back what we give up. So many times. Therefore, as long as our definition of Vairagyam is wrong, we will continue to be in the wrong. We will never grow. One wrong definition is good enough to stagnate us for many lives. One wrong definition. That's why I am very careful. It is the definitions that we are taught in our lives that matter a lot. If it is the right definition, then that right definition will mold our life, would be the right guideline. The right definitions are our guidelines. So if we are given the wrong definitions, then we are misguided. If we get the right definitions, then we are guided properly. Therefore, what is the definition of Vairagyam? Renouncing things or renouncing unreasonable thinking. Unreasonable thinking you renounce, then you are growing. You are growing. In the process of renouncing unreasonable thinking, in the process of, by means of renouncing unreasonable thinking, you are growing. You become such a peaceful person, peaceful for yourself and peaceful for everybody. That is why Krishna says, Tada gantasi nirvedam, shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. This last phrase we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om